And remember, sabi ni former Secretary Bonoan, the House and the Senate inserted 450 billion in Public Works Fund sa kanyang department. 450 billion insertion. Ngayon, the President Marcos Jr., vetoed only 29 billion. So that 29 billion veto is just window dressing. In other words, inapprove ni President Marcos Jr. yung insertion of about 420 billion, 421 billion. Napakalaki yan. So he owned up. He is responsible for this 421 billion insertion. So hindi cannot escape liability dahil he could have vetoed it kasi hindi naman galing sa national expenditure.
Looking at the numbers na pinag-uusapan po dito sa iba't ibang investigasyon na nangyayari ngayon, ito po, itong flood control projects, scandal na ito is much bigger than the PDAF controversy. Ito pong katatapos pa lang na, ano po ba yun? Oo, yung Farmally, opo, kahit na pagsamahin nyo yung dalawa na yun, this still will be much bigger. Do you agree with President Bongbong Marcos when he said that we may be approaching an inflection point in our history?
Yes, I think that tipping point is very near, no? If it's not here already. Dahil this is really the biggest corruption scandal in history. Ang sabi natin noon, it was the corruption during martial law. That was the biggest corruption in Philippine history. That was under President Marcos Sr. Now here is a much bigger corruption, and it is under Marcos Jr. No? So the president now will have to resolve this issue satisfactorily dahil his credibility and the name of the family is at stake. And we have to look at this from that historical viewpoint, that he ran to redeem the honor of his family, the name and honor. And actually what happened is we are into a worse corruption than what happened during the martial law years. No?
Of course, so, it should be said also, Justice, na siya rin po actually ang nag-trigger ng investigation na to after tackling these issues on flood control projects in the SONA of 24 and 25.
Well, you have to go earlier than that, no? Dahil we are talking of the 2025 General Appropriations Act budget. And remember, sabi ni former Secretary Bonoan, the House and the Senate inserted 450 billion in Public Works Fund sa kanyang department. 450 billion insertion. Ngayon, the President Marcos Jr. vetoed only 29 billion. So that 29 billion veto is just window dressing. In other words, inapprove ni President Marcos Jr. yung insertion of about 420 billion, 421 billion. Napakalaki yan. So he owned up. He is responsible for this 421 billion insertion. So hindi cannot escape liability dahil he could have vetoed it kasi hindi naman galing sa national expenditure program niya. In-insert ng Congress, we don't know kung sino, he should have vetoed it. And then, pag na-veto niya, he will now submit a supplemental budget to include that, to put that back into the budget. No? Pero pinayagan niya. So when you approve it, pinirmahan niya yung bill, he owned it already. He owned this insertion of 421 billion.
The root of everything po no ng lahat ng mga investigasyon on both Senate, the lower house at itong ICI is to address yung nangyayari pong corruption. Sa tingin po ba ninyo etong pagsisimula ng ICI ay makapagsisimula ng pagbabago when it comes to how the government deals with corrupt officials?
Well, we hope so, no? Pero what happened in the House is very disturbing dahil it was just a transfer from one political dynasty to another, no? The Speaker Romualdez comes from a political dynasty, and then the replacement comes from another political dynasty. Kami sa Isang Bayan, we have a pending case in the Supreme Court. We want the Supreme Court to order Congress to pass the anti-political dynasty law dahil sabi ng saligang batas, the state shall prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law. So talagang prohibited yan. But ngayon, it's just a game of musical chairs. Pinalitan lang one political dynasty with another political dynasty. So it's very disturbing, no? So that's the big problem now dahil walang nagbago. Thank you.
Would that so you think na ito pong well, actually napakalaking pagbabago after the they say the Senate coup, nangyari na itong sa lower house ng pagpapalit ng speakership. You feel that this is really does not contribute anything at all towards stabilizing the political equilibrium in our country, ano? And this is more of a sideshow?
Well, yung sa Senado, there was a marked improvement dahil the new leadership now really is investigating at saka hindi naman sila sangkot sa flood control projects. Pero sa House, in fact, it's the outgoing speaker who nominated the incoming, no? So it's just a game of musical chairs. So I'm happy with the development in the Senate, in the change of leadership, but not in the House.
Opo. Let's talk about ano po, and since you came from the institution itself, and I'm referring po to the Supreme Court, ano po, what is the role of the Supreme Court in all this? Meron na pong bangayan between the legislative and the executive, or at least medyo meron ng enmity between them, ano po. Pero dapat po ang Supreme Court, shouldn't they be more actively participating in the conversation para po malaman ng ngayon po it's a waiting game eh. Ang dami pong nakakaso nasa Supreme Court pero parang wala pong masyadong galaw, Justice Carpio.
Well, the Supreme Court can speak only through decisions, no?
Yes.
So, and the decisions will come after the parties have submitted all their pleadings and it's ripe for resolution. So, hindi gaano kabilis, no? It's not as fast as executive or legislative action. Pero we should expect the Supreme Court to be to rule on these cases, these pending cases faster. We have filed a case there on anti-dynasty law. We have filed a case on confidential funds, and in fact, the confidential funds is also a big part of the impeachment. And we have filed a case on the PhilHealth, when they raided the coffers of PhilHealth, about 89 billion plus was ordered transferred, pero we were able to get a restraining order on the last tranche. Mga 30 billion yung na hinto namin. And we also filed questioning the 2025 budget, itong current budget, dahil the current budget does not give the highest priority to education. At saka yun nga, linipat nila yung budget ng education for computer, linagay nila sa DPWH. Yung budget for PhilHealth, linagay nila sa DPWH. Yung budget ng AFP modernization, linagay nila sa DPWH. At meron pang iba. So, linipat nila doon for flood control projects.
Yeah,
kaya ganito nangyari sa atin.
Opo. Pati po yung sa impeachment, wala pa rin pong desisyon ng Supreme Court.
Yeah, we've been waiting for that also. We filed a petition to intervene. It has not been granted up to now, no?
Finally, Justice, before we let you go, balikan ko lang din po yung ICI. And what do you think of the powers na ibinigay ng presidente dito? Do you think that enough na po yun? Or agree po ba kayo doon sa sinasabi ng iba tulad ni Tito Sen na dagdagan pa yung posibleng maging kapangyarihan ng ICI?
Well, the powers that the ICI has now, under that EO, is the most that the president can give by executive order. Dahil if you have to give more power, you have to get Congress to pass a law. That's why sabi ni Congresswoman Laila De Lima, there should be a law creating or giving more power to the ICI. Dahil they cannot even cite anyone in contempt there, no? They have to go to court to cite a person in contempt. So it's very difficult for them. Pag nobody will want to testify, no? So, but that's the most. Binigay na ng executive, ng presidente, all the powers that he could give under present law. So, ideally, there should be a law passed by Congress giving it more teeth, no? Pero that will take time also.
Pati po pala yung investigative powers nitong body na ito, hanggang recommendation lang po pala ng appropriate charges.
Yes, all they do is recommend to the DOJ or to the Ombudsman, and it's the Ombudsman that will conduct the proper preliminary investigation. In fact, dapat yan, kung we have a credible Ombudsman, it should be the Ombudsman, dahil the Ombudsman can investigate anyone in government, no? And has the full powers to investigate. But right now, we don't have an Ombudsman, and the people are clamoring for an investigation, so ginawa nila yung ICI, no? But if the proper agencies, the proper government offices are working, hindi na kailangan talaga itong ICI, no? But because of the magnitude of this corruption, the people want instant action, so nagkaroon ng ICI.
Ayun.